I've heard so many times from people that if you want to drive like a grandma, you better get yourself a Honda Accord. It's one of the cars that everybody thinks about whenever they're looking to buy a new car, a new sedan. Even Jesus used to drive one. Now the 8th gen Honda Accord was the biggest, widest Honda Accord that they had ever made. And some websites even classified that as large. Big is kind of the opposite of what you want. You want small, you want compact, you want a car that's really focused. The bigger it is, the more weight it's going to have, the more weight it has to lug around, which is going to make it sluggish around corners, especially bends. The Accord on corners is a bit like this. It wafts around like a ship on the sea. That's where this car comes in. Because what this car is essentially is a hunkered down Honda Accord that's been tuned to take corners the way a go-kart would. The front has been lowered down, so there's no McPherson strut. It has double wishbone suspension. What that does is it makes the ride a bit firm. The chassis doesn't do that anymore, it just stays planted. And that's really apparent in this car because every time you take a bend, it gives you more confidence. There's almost zero chassis roll, and there's always contact with the tire. You don't feel a lack of grip, you don't feel it inconsistent. It gives you a kind of confidence that makes you want to push it harder. It's one of the few modern Hondas that you can communicate with, I think. The best thing about this car though is, I have to say, it's the responsiveness of the gears. I haven't been into any new Acuras or even Hondas that shift the way this car does. And this will hold gear. That's third gear. Second gear. Still in second gear. I'm not going to change anything. Turn in. You can take it up, you can rev it up. It's not going to change gear. Even if you let go of the accelerator, it's still not changing gear. Put it down again. This is where this car rises a level above the Accord. Look at the way this car handles that turn, okay? Second. I could have fallen out of the seat, but the car would not. It wouldn't budge. There's so much grip. This car was made for drives. It was made for roads like this that go up and down, they go right and left. Having said that, it's equally happy on the interstate. It'll do 75, 80 miles per hour quietly, no noise. At its core, this car is still a Honda, so you get the Honda reliability, and I've seen that over the years that I've had this car. Not once has this car broken down. Also, being a Honda, you get efficiency, and in a tank of gas, you can easily do 630 miles. One time I even got the mileage to show me 42 miles per gallon. It's got memory seats for two, it's got seat heating, it's got dual zone automatic climate control, it's got sunroof, it's got back seats that fold down for more storage. The sound quality is amazing. You have USB connectivity, you have Bluetooth connectivity, you have garage openers. This car is laden with features. You don't need more than this in a daily driver. There are a couple downsides. This rattles on rough surfaces, and it does take premium gas, but I think it makes up for that in its mileage. Another downside, the rear legroom is a bit cramped because this car is small, but that just makes it all the way better to handle. You know, a car that I really looked forward to was the new TLX, and I even saw one testing in my city, and I even went after it. We recorded a video of it testing on the streets. So when it came into the showrooms, I went the next day. I went to test it out, and as good as that car looks and even handles, there was something about the way it shifted that let me down. When I was driving it and I was trying to downshift, it didn't let me downshift the instant I wanted. It waited for some time, waited for the right revs to come, and then changed gears. Even the upshifts were not that brutal. It wasn't like bang on, you press a gear, it's there. It wasn't like that. And I've seen a lot of new cars, and even some of the older ones, like the Lexus IS from this era, it did not have that. In normal mode, you could not change gear. And even in sport mode, it would not hold the gear. Now all that is fine. You can drive this normally in drive, and then if you want to change the gear, you can just pull the pedals down and it will change for you. If you look down here, it says D for drive and then there's S for sport. Bring this down, pull the left pedal, and what that does is puts it into manual mode in the first gear. And in this mode, this car becomes something completely different. Seven and a half thousand RPM. Second gear. Let's calm down. This feels like Honda went back into their roots and really tried to design a car that's special, a car that's low, it's sharp, a bit like the Honda Accord of the third generation. This car is so underrated. It feels like a car that had to grow up in the Honda family, where everyone was focused on efficiency, reliability, usability, and this wanted to be a Formula 1 car. Never got the chance to do it, but still kept it alive.